Good morning. Father Maciel, founder of the Legionaries of Christ and Regnum Christi movement, a law unto himself. This is Paul Lennon with my regular commentaries based on my autobiography, A Naive and Sentimental Dubliner in the Legion of Christ. And this is an important part of chapter 14 of my autobiography, which is a critique of the Legionaries of Christ and Regnum Christi Federation according to its latest reincarnation. Now, as I was studying Father Maciel's personality and his actions in chapter 14, I remember not understanding what was happening in the history when I was talking about Father Maciel interfering with Saul Bararle's ordination, Father Maciel being involved with the priestly ordination of Monsignor Jorge Bernal Vargas, later to be made the first bishop of Quintana Roo, Chetumal, of Cancun fame in later years. And at the same time, how is this happening when Father Maciel was supposedly at that time censured by the Vatican during its major investigation of the legionaries and of Father Maciel in 1956? So I wrote to my friend Jose Barba about this in 2005 when I was writing the initial edition of the book. Dear Pepe, I'm still working on my Legion story with the intention of publishing it, albeit modestly. I need your help with the following. Father Maciel was present at the ordination of Monsignor Jorge Bernal in Lourdes, and he exiled Saul Barrales to the Canary Islands during what was then called the War. That was the period when the Vatican intervened Maciel and exiled him from the Legion. It was originally called La Guerra when I joined the Legion in 61, and then of course it was rewritten as the Great Blessing, La Gran Bendición, years later by Legion historians. But it was during this period when Father Maciel was supposed to be separated from the Legion by Vatican order. How do I reconcile his presence in the life of members and intervention in Legion's management with the Vatican prohibition? Jose wrote to me on November the 7th, 2006. Dear Paul, as of October 1956, Maciel was expelled from the Legion by orders of the Holy See. How could he stay involved in managing the Legion? He simply disobeyed. End of Barba's quote. So Father Maciel disregarded Vatican orders. This brings me to an important point. I hope you know by now that my critique of the Legion is based very much on its cult-like characteristics. Such cult-like features or characteristics have been expressed and formulated, for many years by the International Cultic Studies Association and based on experts' writings, studies, and research. And one of those characteristics, which I cite in one of my later books, which is called Catholic Orders and Movements Accused of Being Cult-like, where I do include the Legion of Christ, I wanted to quote the definition of the features of a cult. And number 7 says, and this is very, I hope my international cultic friends, I'm going to quote them here. I hope they pay attention to what I'm saying now, because this is a very interesting research point. The regular definition of the cult says, Number 7, the leader is not accountable to any authorities. And then in parentheses, unlike, for example, teachers, military commanders, or ministers, priests, monks, and rabbis of mainstream religious denominations. So this little caveat was put in here between parentheses. Now, the point I'm making here is that Father Maciel, despite him being a religious minister, a priest at this time, nevertheless, he made himself not accountable to anyone. In a certain sense, he would be accountable to his local bishop, but the Legion, being a religious order, a religious congregation, in a certain sense, has to respond to Rome, or always looks to Rome, and very often they neglect the local bishop, as we've seen recently in the case of the Diocese of Dallas, where the bishop has put his foot down and told the legionaries to hold on there until they're fully investigated for some cases of sexual abuse. But nevertheless, Maciel basically disregarded bishops, and in this case, he's showing his disregard for the Holy See. So in this, the Holy See, the Vatican authorities, the Sacred Congregation for Religious, even the Pope himself, ultimately. So this is the strange thing, and it goes to show again the flimsiness of Father Maciel as a founder, his flimsiness, his faultiness as a director general or superior general of the Legion, and I believe the continuing weaknesses of the Legion in regards to obeying authorities. The Legion obeys authorities as much as it is convenient for them. So let me return to Jose Barba. And I do not believe that the Legion has shaken off these faults of the founder and his deviousness. This is deviousness. He simply disobeyed, returning to Barba. He was not supposed to have contact with us legionaries, but neither he nor our superiors complied with the Holy See's orders. Maciel was forbidden by the Holy See to set foot in Rome or to visit with us in the Legion community. But he slipped through this prohibition with trickery and casuistry, and you might say with sarcasm. He would have the college bus, he would have the legionary bus pick him up outside Rome city limits and take him into the city. Getting into the bus, Maciel would sarcastically remark, "Right, brothers, I am not setting foot in Rome." This was jubilantly received by the members who were privileged to accompany him. Maciel even moved legionaries from one country to another without the Holy See's knowledge or permission. Father Francisco Navarro was dispatched to the Instituto Cumbres in Mexico City, while Fathers Faustino Pardo, Rafael Cuena, and Gabriel Cortez were sent to Caracas, Venezuela, to twiddle their thumbs, remarks Pepe. Maciel wanted to punish them for lack of due loyalty to him during the Vatican investigation. Cortez told me much later that the fancy hotel where they were lodged in Venezuela was full of classy prostitutes. End of quotation, and end of today's broadcast. I'm continuing my critique of the Legion of Christ and my autobiography and critique of the Legion, a naive and sentimental Dubliner in the Legion of Christ, surviving and thriving after knowing pedophile psychopath founder Father Maciel Maciel. Latest edition recommended to you. Thank you.